Hello everybody and welcome to the Daily Splatt. Today is video number 13 in our series of 20 previewing the English Premier League season 2012-2013, and today we are talking about our 13th team alphabetically, and it is Southampton. It's another one of the newly promoted teams. Of course, yesterday we were talking about Reading and their prospects. Today we are on to the Saints, and well, some people might have thought I was being negative about Reading. You haven't seen the Southampton review, obviously. I'm going to put it bluntly. I think Southampton are going to finish bottom. And it's basically just because I'm just not convinced they're going to do that well. I think they are the weakest squad as things stand in the Premier League, although the signings they have made I actually think are pretty good, and arguably if they get off to a good start, they could force themselves to stay up, and we have seen after Norwich and Swansea both managed to stay up when everyone was writing them off. We shouldn't be writing teams off, but I can't see it. But again, 9 months from now, if Southampton have finished 12th and played some exciting football, then I'll happily eat my hat or my words or humble pie or whatever it is you eat when you get something wrong. Anyway, looking at the players that Southampton have brought in, there's four, just listed them here. Nathaniel Clyne coming in from Crystal Palace, the young right back there. I think that is actually an excellent signing. I'm a big fan of Clyne, and I think he's going to do the Saints a world of good. Whether he'll be able to adapt to the Premier League quickly enough remains a question, but I think he is certainly very capable of it. So, Southampton, Clyne, I think it's actually a good mix, and I think it's a good stepping stone for him as well. They've also brought in Stephen Davis from Rangers, one of the many Rangers players to have come into the Premier League after the collapse of Rangers. Davis, I think, is an excellent acquisition, particularly for a team like Southampton, and I think he'll serve the team well. They've also brought in a young goalkeeper in Paulo Gazzaniga, I can't say his name, Paulo Gazzaniga, there we go, and Jay Rodriguez has come in from Barnsley, and again, a striker who's very good in the Championship, but whether he can make that step up into the Premier League remains to be seen. In terms of the players they've let go, where the likes of Harley Dean, Ryan Dobble, Dan Harding, David Connolly, Lee Holmes, and Radi Jaidi, who Jaidi I remember from his Birmingham days, and used to have in the fantasy team, although can't say his name these days, have all been let go. The problem I have with Southampton in terms of just seeing them stay up is I'm just not really that convinced by the squad. Billy Sharp certainly is an excellent player, and I think he's one that could very much adapt to the Premier League, perhaps even in a sort of Grant Holt type way, maybe not with the same numbers, but I think he's going to be important. And I do quite like some of their defenders. I think Butterfield is a pretty good one, and David Fox as well, I think, has got capabilities of doing quite well. But the rest of the team, just looking through the team, I mean, I will admit I'm not that familiar with Southampton, but I've had a look. I've been watching highlights of them today whilst preparing for this, and I'm just not all that thrilled. I mean, Richard Chaplow's a pretty good midfielder. Whether he'll be able to adapt to the Premier League again remains to be seen. Ricky Lambert certainly is a player I am looking forward to seeing in the Premier League, but I'm just not all that convinced that they're going to be able to stay up, basically. I just think that it's the weakest of the 20 squads. Now, of course, I could be wrong, and there's a good chance I will be. There's a 1 in 20 chance that Southampton will finish bottom, conceivably. But the only reason I have them bottom is because I just think they're the most likely to be relegated. They could still finish 19th or 18th, and it would pretty much still reflect what I feel about them, and that's they did very well to be promoted. Their first season back into the Championship from League One. I'm just not sure they're going to have enough. Again, I know some of you will be saying, but look at Norwich last year. Norwich went straight up from League One to Championship to Premier League, and they stayed 12th. Yes, but I think Norwich are going to go down this year. That's just it. I'm not overly all that optimistic about it, and I think it is. I might just be being pessimistic more than anything else. I'm not sure they're going to be able to realistically compete throughout the whole season. But that's just me. I'm sure many Saints fans out there will be chomping at the bit to tell me why I'm completely wrong, and please feel free. And of course, if Southampton do prove me wrong, then fantastic. But just as it is, I'm just not convinced that they're going to do it. So sorry, that's my opinion. Anyway, that's it for today. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about Stoke City and previewing their season and what hopes and dreams all the Potters fans can have with Tony Pulis and his men. Okay, until then, have a lovely day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Okay, bye.